A very good evening and welcome to BCN News. Our top story tonight, with a current coronavirus outbreak, opposition MP Terry Koh is calling on the government to put in place a travel ban. Terry Koh says government should ban travel of government employees to China and to put a hold on any Chinese workers expected to arrive on the island to work on government projects.
There's a number of people that have spoken to me, and their concern is that we should delay the Chinese to come to do the roads, mainly because the virus is not much known about it, and that we can't afford to take the risk. So it's better that we stop the Chinese coming here and wait for the World Health recommendations on the disease. And we should stop also our students and that going to China for the time being until that's sorted out, and that should help us to maintain a reasonable border control on the coronavirus at this time anyhow.
Koh believes a travel ban is the most effective measure in preventing the spread of the virus to Niue.
So I think it's the most effective way, and I'm sure the Chinese will understand our concern because we're such a small country and small population, and it doesn't take much to affect a whole lot of us here. And our immune systems here are not the best. As with all Pacific countries, we seem to be down on the immune systems.
In response to Terry Koh's comments, BCN News received a statement from the Secretary to Government Peleni Talangi today. It states, the Niue Health Department has been monitoring the 2019 coronavirus outbreak in China and is working closely with the World Health Organization, the New Zealand Ministry of Health, and neighbouring Pacific Island health colleagues with regular updates. However, the Health Department will be meeting with Niue Border Agency officials today to plan the response under its pandemic plan and take preparatory measures. It further states the Health Department will be issuing official public notifications on the 2019 coronavirus in accordance with official World Health Organization guidance. The statement also said that as of 9 a.m. today, WHO has not declared the coronavirus outbreak in China a public health emergency of international concern. The western side of the island suffered the most damage along the coast as a result of the recent tropical cyclone Tino. The main damage was to Sir Roberts Wharf.
Most of the damages that we see are on our cliffs or in that western side, which includes a lot of the sea tracks that a lot of our locals use for fishing or even for swimming areas, and also for our visitors as well. So they have released under the tourism, some of these tracks have been closed due to major damages. But as for the locals that normally use those areas, they entered their own risk, but also noting that that's how it was before it was developed as well. And as we can see on the government infrastructure, mainly the wharf, there was a lot of damage to the wharf, including the huts for the meteorological data and the monitoring of the wave gauge and other equipments they have down there, and also for the fisheries department or for the winch. So we see a lot of those that were blown out or taken away. And also for the surface of the wharf, it was damaged, which is very significant because we've never had that damage to the wharf as like how in this last cyclone Tino, even though we weren't hit, but it was so close, and yet it was a big damage to our wharf, including all the sea tracks that goes up on the northern side on the west coast as well.
For now, NDMO Hekau says is assessing the damage and costs to fix it.
Now that the departments involved that has gone out and assessed some of these areas, they know, or we have found out to be a lot of money involved, but they can't really put a figure on it yet. as they're still doing their research and also trying to see the costs when they first established those areas or the developments, and then how much it's going to cost now to repair it.
A family who decided to make the return home were dealt a devastating blow when their family home in Namukulu they were renovating and living in burned down on Friday last week. The couple had decided to return to Niue, having lived in New Zealand for many years. They had shipped over many of their belongings and had started renovations to the house. One witness said that there was no fire at the house when he drove past on his way to work after 6 in the morning. However, another motorist traveling to work at about 8 that morning came across the house, which was then engulfed in flames. The family is now living with relatives. 3 officials from Fisheries Australia and the Regional Foreign Fisheries Agency are in Niue this week to conduct a 3-day workshop with Niue government officials. This is to operationalize the Niue Treaty Subsidiary Agreement. Also known as the Niue Treaty, which was established in July 1992, this is a multilateral treaty which provides for cooperation in fisheries surveillance and law enforcement in the South Pacific region and for members of the Pacific Islands Foreign Fisheries Agency to enhance their ability to enforce effectively their fisheries law and deter breaches. The Niue Treaty currently has 17 signatories and Niue signed 2 years ago. The workshop this morning was officially opened by the member assisting the Minister of Natural Resources, Mona Ainu, and attended by officials from the Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry, Customs, Niue Police, Justice, Lands and Surveyors, and Crown Law. The Ekalesia Niue officially appointed the new governing committee known as the Komisi Whakatonu on the 8th of January. The new president of the Ekalesia is Reverend Nuka Tawevihi.
Every 3 years, the Ekalesia vote in their new governing body to lead the church over the next 3 years. The new committee is led by the new president, Reverend Nuka Tawevihi from the Mutalau Ekalesia. The vice president is Reverend Nevi Salatielu from the Alofi Ekalesia. The secretary is Reverend Basinet Viviani from the Tuapa Ekalesia. And the treasurer is Reverend Kennedy Tukutama from the Liku Ekalesia. The rest of the committee is made up of representatives from the Federation of Christian Women, FCW, led by Mrs. Aleipata Sionetuato. The 2 deacon representatives are Spiro Hetutu from Avasele Ekalesia and Sioneheke Leolahi from the Alofi Ekalesia. The representative of the head deacons is Charlie Tohovaka from Makefu.
And finally, locals welcomed the new year with the traditional Takai celebrations earlier this month. Locals joined in the festivities with lively drive-bys where people drove around in brightly decorated vehicles. Many motorists tossed sweets to children while driving the full 40 miles around Niue's main ring road. And that's BCN News for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Do join us same time tomorrow. Until then, have a good evening.